I made it my goal to get a car that's both cheap, reliable, easy to work on, and most importantly, cheap, that acts as a perfect entry to the car scene for under $3,000. In the beginning, basically every new car person has these two essential problems. Number one, money. Like seriously, I cannot even comprehend what's going on with the used car market in 2026. Honestly, like this is a 30-year-old Toyota. It costs 70 grand. Like they're charging 70. Well, problem number two, you probably do not know at all what you're doing as a newbie, as a new person in this entire car community. So obviously, if you are new to this entire car topic and you're looking into getting a cool car yourself that's both affordable, reliable, and most importantly, easy to work on because you have no idea what you're actually doing, it's gonna look really bad for you because finding such a car is gonna be a real task, but they are out there. And this is where this little Miata comes in. It was someone else's project car and I bought it as a completely disassembled barn find. Probably not many people would have bought a car in such a condition, but since I made it my mission to show you that even in 2026 you can get into cars on a budget without having to start off with an absolute piece of car, I paid 2 grand for it, got the car to my shop and got to work straight away. And after paying about 133 bucks for this right fender, we are now at a total cost of this build so far of $2,133. Euro, whatever. So we're already getting pretty close to the $3,000 and the car still looks like this. And this brings us to today, because in this video, I'm hoping to solve a potentially deal-breaking issue this car has, which if not resolved, could kill this entire project. Pretty big service that we're gonna do. I got some distilled water right here, some coolant, we got a new air filter, oil filter, drain plug, a lot of additives from Liqui Moly. Now, currently the problem is that the MX-5, the Miata, is actually ticking quite a lot. I really don't know where it's coming from. I'm going to show you in a second. We need to let it warm up before we do the oil change anyway, so I'm going to show you the ticking noise in a second. I really don't know where it's coming from. I'm just suspecting it might be the lifters. Let's turn it on for a second. Dude, she's ticking so loud, but it's actually coming from the top end. It's not coming from the bottom end, so I'm really, I don't know, but I feel like she got a bit of a misfire. I don't know, man. Just gonna let it run for a bit, just to make sure that all of these additives that I've added to the gas tank and to the oil can actually circulate and do their thing. But I need to get out of the shop, man. But it's definitely coming from the top end. Gonna give her some revs. Oh, dude, the ticking just got better for a second. Dude, she's barely ticking anymore. Okay, maybe still a little bit, but damn, it's so good. Like honestly, I think all she needs is literally just to be driven again. Like just to be driven again. She's been sitting for like over 5 years at this point. Like I don't know, like no, closer to 10 years, I think. I think she just needs some fresh fuel, fresh plugs, just a little bit of a service, a little bit of love. And I think then we're all good. Like she is definitely smoky, but not, what do you expect when a car sits more than like 6, 7, 8 years? I think she's gonna be mint. Let's drain the oil, drain the coolant, change out all of the filters, give her a quick service, and then start her up again. See if the ticking's still there. Before doing an oil change, I just quickly decided to pull out the plugs because I just wanted to have a look at them, and I noticed that the plug from cylinder 1 is not only very oily, which means that we will need to get a new valve cover, but it's also cracked. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but like this might as well be the issue from our ticking. Maybe the plug is just arcing to the head because it has this little crack in there. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I still have some, like maybe some used plugs from another car that fit the Miata, but I'm just gonna order a new pair. But for now, let's see if I maybe have some used plugs to put in there for now. Dude! It's not ticking anymore! How? Was it literally just the spark plugs? Like, how? Absolutely insane. Honestly, let me know in the comments below, like, why? Why did that just happen? I don't know. I literally don't have a technical explanation for why this engine is not ticking anymore. Anyways, let's keep going with the service. I'm happy. That was like my biggest concern about this entire car, that the engine might be toast because the ticking was so loud. It was incredible. Let's keep going with the service. Drain the oil, drain the coolant. Oh yeah, she's a little wet. That's what he said. Let's see how many cans of the stuff we will need. That oil has definitely seen better days. Oh, that oil. It kind of smells good, but kind of smells bad as well. Why does it smell like freshly cut grass? It wasn't even ticking before, but now listen to this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's like zero tick. You cannot hear shit. That oil change, just that little flush, changing out the oil, that made like such a huge difference. Cleaning the plugs, gapping them down a little bit. Dude, I did not expect this engine to be actually savable. I thought this would be totaled, like for sure, because it was ticking so loudly. But yeah, anyways, awesome. Let's check the oil level, see if we need to add some more, and then drain the coolant, change it out for a new one, and then take it for a rip. I kind of want to take it for a rip actually. By the looks of it, it looks pretty good. I really expected worse, but I'm just gonna let everything drain. And we're gonna put this brand new, fresh FL22 and some fresh distilled water in this puppy. I cannot wait to drive this. First, gotta get this thing sorted out 100%, and then we can enjoy this car. And also, to be honest, I really need a daily driver. I think I'm gonna daily this thing. All right, let's get the Supra out of the shop real quick so we have space to move the Miata out of the shop as well. suspension is just unbearable. Man, it's so refreshing to drive a car that has like the smallest turning radius ever. Oh, wait. We gotta do this the Miata style. Woo! She has some power with her 90 horses. Dude, that's so sick. Oh my god, but the suspension is so bad. I think we also have a flat tire. It could be the suspension, but honestly I think we might have a flat tire. But it might as well be the old tires, I think. Oh yeah, but before we get her back to the shop, I really want to clear up the brakes a little bit because like they are super rusty. Maybe I can clear them up by braking a little bit, but like yeah, brakes are feeling absolutely great. Dude. That's what I would call some huge progress. I really didn't expect this engine to stop ticking, and honestly I really wanted to figure out the ticking noise before I move on like working on the car, because obviously that would have meant that I would have, well, spent some unnecessary money on a project that's doomed to fail. But now that we know that the project is not doomed to fail, I still want to figure out two more things, starting with this radio. I've actually installed this hoping that, well, it will work. It was just one of those cheap Amazon radios, but apparently literally after its first use, it completely died. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install an even cheaper Amazon radio into this car, hoping that this will not die. That was literally not scripted, like, I hope it didn't die. Ah, so hot. Radio works. Let's get this shift knob. It's so hot in Germany right now, like I literally just burned myself on the plastics. Fresh new shift knob is installed. Damn, that feels absolutely awesome. Our cheap little radio doesn't look the greatest, but it works, which is a huge plus. It's a huge improvement to that cheap Amazon one, even though this is also a very cheap Amazon one. But yeah, man, huge progress for today. And speaking of cheap, now let's get into how much I have spent in this entire video. So we did a big service, and for everything you have seen, the oil, the coolant, the distilled water, the oil filter, air filter, etc., I have paid a whopping $89 for the cheap Amazon radio. That one was actually only 16 bucks, and the shift knob was another $7, which after adding it to our previous $2,133, which we spent in the previous video, would bring us to a total of $2,245 so far. Absolutely insane. And you gotta keep in mind that's a fully serviced car right now. Okay, granted, it still needs a timing belt replacement, which we're gonna get into in the next video. That's gonna be a whole lot of work, but still a fully serviced car. Theoretically, this thing would be totally drivable right now, but because obviously I don't want to leave the car looking like this, it's gonna be real tough to stay under the $3,000. That's at least my prediction. I have no idea, but seeing how the car looks, there's just so much work that I still need to do on this car.